The Gulf Injustice Podcast, the official podcast of Detained in Dubai with Radha Stirling.
What an incredible year in so many ways, full of ups and downs, of setbacks and progress. We've seen such unprecedented abuses within the prisons, with the COVID umbrella of protection against questions. We've seen governments and embassies overrun with pleadings for help, emergency repatriation, and serious complaints of denial of medical and basic humanitarian services. But we've seen the most glorious reunions, with long-term prisoners finally free to return home. Morag Koussa, Malcolm Faren, Melissa McBurnie, Alan Stevenson, Conor Howard, and hundreds of others were able to spend this new year at home with their friends and families thanks to our great work at Detained in Dubai. Amazing progress has been made with our endeavours to make foreign governments and their agents accountable for the abuse of foreign nationals, with multiple litigious actions lodged in the US and English courts as well as the United Nations. Now, this groundbreaking and important work will lead to long-term change in the Gulf, ultimately protecting foreign nationals from egregious human rights violations and torture. And our efforts to end Interpol abuse are stronger than ever, with the issue finally in front of legislators and policymakers, and a strong focus of the international media. Our hands-on experience with Interpol abuse, removal of red notices, expert testimony and extradition defence has not only saved lives on a case-by-case basis, but has proven crucial to end Interpol's corrupt and abusive practices. We've lobbied for legislative reforms, and the UAE government has finally responded, taking some steps to change local laws, particularly in relation to sex outside marriage, which previously had seen rape victims jailed. While many more reforms are needed in order to make the country safe, these changes are a sign of good faith and of future intentions. And the biggest change of all this year is the UAE's peace deal with Israel, which will see major social and economic movements, and we're hopeful that these changes will be long-term positive for stability in the region. The overall and underlying issues in the UAE remain. Despite United Nations efforts, Princess Latifa and Princess Shamsa remain in captivity. The judiciary remains under the control of the ruling and Emirati elite. Foreigners continue to be seen as prey, and their businesses and investments as gifts to exploitative locals, and Interpol continues to be seen as a tool for punishment, for spite, for slander and extortion. We will continue to promote diplomatic and governmental intervention in cases of wrongful detention and human rights violations, and to spotlight cases in the international media. We've launched our podcast this year, Gulf Injustice, to fully explore specific cases, issues and policy in the Middle East. The podcast has already been influential in ensuring the freedom of victims of injustice. We will continue to fight for freedom, for justice, for permanent changes that will shield against future abuse and make the region a safer place for generations to come. We wish you a joyous new year, and extend our hearts to all those who are still detained, who are missing their loved ones, or are otherwise facing challenging times. May you take comfort in the hope that this coming year will bring you your freedom, reunion with loved ones, and a brighter, better experience. Please follow us on social media and our YouTube channel at Detained in Dubai for breaking news and analysis. I'm Radha Stirling. Happy New Year.
Thank you for listening to the Gulf Injustice Podcast.